Technical narration, punch-through in jack-up drilling rigs. After a jack-up drilling rig reaches the desired location, the rig deployment operation begins. At this stage, the rig's legs are lowered toward the seabed, and the spud cans at the bottom of the legs are positioned on the seabed. The objective is to allow the spud cans to penetrate into the seabed under controlled loading, so that the legs reach a stable and reliable foundation within the soil. Then, the rig's hull is elevated above the water surface by the jacking system to the required operating elevation. However, one of the most critical stages of jack-up deployment is the preloading stage, or the application of preload to the legs. During this process, through ballasting and the gradual filling of ballast tanks, additional weight and load are transferred to the structure and ultimately to the legs and spud cans in order to assess the bearing capacity of the seabed and simulate the rig's actual loading conditions. This operation must not be carried out suddenly. Ballasting and load application must be performed step by step and under continuous monitoring. For example, depending on the manufacturer's instructions, rig design, and preload program, loading may be carried out in defined stages such as 25%, 50%, 75%, and finally 100%. After each stage, sufficient time must be allowed to evaluate the soil response and the behavior of the legs. Throughout this process, penetration, or the depth of spud can penetration, RPD, rig level, and the behavior of each individual leg must be continuously monitored and recorded. However, the main risk occurs when the seabed soil profile is not uniform. There may be a relatively strong layer at the seabed surface, while at greater depth, a layer with lower shear strength and bearing capacity may exist. Under such conditions, the spud can may initially show adequate resistance, but as it reaches the weaker layer, the soil bearing capacity may suddenly decrease. If, under these conditions, loading is applied too quickly or proper control and monitoring are not maintained, the spud can may suddenly and rapidly penetrate into the seabed. This phenomenon is known as punch-through.